Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Bad guys do hill shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just some rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay.
Viewer discretion time.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes, and it's Tuesday, so with us as always is Edgar from the Snug Wrestling Podcast.
Gang, gang.
Bringing us the biggest news stories of the week in wrestling. We got some AEW ring controversy. We got some potential Josh Alexander news. We got all kinds of shit. We'll get into it right when we get back.
Cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down.
All right, fellas, how you guys doing tonight?
It's Tuesday night. You know what that means.
What up? I'm doing good.
Good, good.
So how are you? You big, beautiful, bald bastard.
Oh, just being big, beautiful, and bold.
How do you do it?
It's full-time job.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep,
100%.
yep. Everybody have a good Valentine's Day?
I had a great Valentine's Day and 4-day weekend, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rested, and I'm happy to be here today. So yeah, it was amazing.
Outstanding.
It was 4-day weekend. Man, fuck you.
I'm just so madly in love, dude. That's what happens on Valentine's Day, you know.
I'm in love with my spouse too, but Bills love me more. But
Yeah, man. What about you guys? How was your Valentine's Day? Did you guys do anything special? Well,
please keep talking
not
shit from last
together,
night.
or not together, but like or together, either way.
Well, I mean, I woke up with that beautiful bald bastard's face, and we went and got breakfast.
Jesus.
Aw.
It was all right. I took my wife out to Brazilian Steakhouse, and that's always fun. Ate my fucking money's worth in steak. That's pretty much it. I went full carnivore that night. That's about it.
Was it like a cheat day or something?
Not on a carnivore diet. It's not.
Okay.
To be fair, I also had like the little like snack size baggies, and like when they were coming by, and I was just like slinging shit into it and throwing it in her purse, so I had shit to take home.
Hell
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah. So I ate like 3 pounds worth of meat, but I had another 2 pounds in the fucking purse.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
Very nice.
What about you, Dr. Pooh?
Good stuff. Nothing special. Love and all that.
He doesn't kiss and tell, y'all.
That's a goddamn lie. He just doesn't want to tell you that he went big baller and went to Chris Roof's live the other night.
Yeah,
He also doesn't want to tell you that he went by himself.
that's right, baby.
Be like, baby, I love you.
Me and my wife go out on Valentine's Day. It's just not together.
Yeah. Be like, baby, I love you.
Just fucking.
But I can't afford you anymore.
Just kidding. All right, let's get to some news.
What are we talking about?
Let's talk about one of the biggest talking points out of AEW Grand Slam, oddly enough, was that weird 16 by 16 ring. Or was it weird? I don't know. I've been dying to hear what you guys think about this. So let's get to it. The 16 by 16 ring, was it weird or not?
Before I let Draven cook on this, let's just make something clear. AEW's ring just didn't get there in time. All right, it was shipped. Shipping's finicky sometimes. Sometimes you don't get your shit. So it's not like they left America and was like, fuck it, we'll just deal with the ring later. No, it was shipped. It should have been there, and it didn't get there. So they had to use an indie ring. As far as the size being weird, no. We've wrestled in tons of places with 16 by 16 rings. You don't see them on TV often, but it's definitely, especially those guys in AEW who still work the indies, they work all the time in 16-foot rings.
Fair. I that was one of the things that I wondered. Did this even affect the matches at all? The answer is no. I didn't watch the show, but from what I hear, the matches were amazing, and it was because of that. I knew a lot of these guys are used to probably working that size ring anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But my thing is, in that whole entire country of Australia, how big that fucking place is, they couldn't find the equipment necessary for a regular size ring.
So this is more of a geography lesson at this point. So with Australia, there's a lot of cities around the coast, right? There's very little like on the inland. So with the way that goes, it's like one main highway. So there's always going to be traffic and shit. The issue is that it was a short notice. They only had like a 12 to 16 hour time frame to find a ring period, get it approved, and get it fucking sent over. And Kyle Fletcher God bless that man for working his ass off to find this ring, was able to find one from one of his old independent promotions and get it put in. Now, here's the thing, with a lot of the fucking haters and shit, because I saw quite a few on your TikTok and shit, especially on the social medias when you were posting them. Dark, I've been doing this 15 years full time, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the one thing I do? And you know me because you've asked me about it. What's the one thing I do when I get to a venue, regardless if I've worked there 1,000 times or it's the first time walking in? What's the first thing I go do?
Walk the ring.
Walk the fucking ring. Get a feel for that son of a bitch. Hit the fucking ropes. It don't matter, if I was fucking Ric Flair, I'm still gonna do the same shit. Now, unfortunately, there was an injury from the show, Buddy Matthews, who rolled his ankle during his entrance. Now, could that be from padding being misplaced? Possibly. But again, unlike an AEW ring, which has like one continuous roll of padding, most independent rings, they're in sections, like puzzle pieces. You got to put them together, squeeze them together, and put the canvas on. And sometimes, yes, mid show, they do start separating. Is it something the ring crew could have, overlooked? Yes, absolutely. They're not used to working an independent ring. So for, that to happen, it's a freak accident, but it happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to Dark. It's happened to damn near anybody in this business who's ever worked any sort of independent show. Another thing that I saw was the criticism about the ring steps. And again, this goes back to Kyle Fletcher using what's available. And sometimes less is more. And for me, seeing an independent ring with basic ass steps, let's call it what it is, it was kind of refreshing because it showed that at least most of the talent can still work this. And let's not forget one person who should have been uncomfortable as fucking there was more comfortable than most of the other guys, and that was Copeland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was only able to watch the highlights because I don't fucking follow AEW religiously, and unless somebody wants to give me a fucking Max subscription free for a year, I'm probably not going to fucking pay for it. Dark's the AEW guy. I'm the WWE guy / indie guy. That's how it works. It works fucking well. But he was, I would say, more comfortable in that 16-footer than he was in a 20. So all this criticism about, AEW couldn't afford to get a ring, here's the issue. That ring was not getting flown. It was getting shipped. That is like a week and a half to 2 week shipping from California to Australia, not including storms, not including weather conditions. So for it to be one of those situations of it's just not going to get there in time, use what you got. And from what I saw, it actually made the show feel a little more, what's the phrase, organic, because it made a lot of people think a lot more on their feet and had to switch up some stuff, and it worked out well. And for me to work in a smaller ring like that, in a big crowd like that, it makes your guys look more imposing. They make them look bigger than life. So, for example, the Death Riders and Copeland and Jay White, when they all stood in the ring at the same time, that seemed like a moment, and it seemed like more of a moment because the ring was smaller. These guys look bigger. So I have no issue with it. And for everybody that's bashing it, and again, I'm not the biggest AEW fan. I'm a pro wrestling fan. And the one thing I've learned from Grand Slam over this past week is nobody hates professional wrestling more than professional wrestling fans.
100%.
They've got to find something wrong with something. They've got to nitpick it.
Yep.
Just like the fucking Raw on Netflix. Professional wrestling fans fucking nitpick that shit to hell. Granted, I'm right there with them with the fucking 4-match card. I can understand that. But why can't we just sit back and enjoy this? This was a major moment for AEW. This was one of their biggest gates. if I remember correctly. It was like the third biggest gate or fourth biggest gate in the company history.
The place was
and
packed. It was fucking rocking.
and tell me any other company besides the WWE or AEW that's going to sell out an arena like that overseas. I will fucking wait.
None.
Anybody? Exactly. TNA can never do it. New Japan can never do it. Or what, the UJWP or whatever the hell it's going to be, the United thing. Nobody can do it. So this was an absolute win for professional wrestling. And the fact that people are nitpicking this shit and tearing it apart, I don't want to use the word petty because I've told you countless times this is my year of being petty. This is childish. Just let them have the win.
Yeah, but that's
It's
the
not that big a
problem is
deal.
that AEW is not allowed to have a win when it comes to. I don't know why everything has gotten so. I mean, I guess it's how this country is now. Everything is just so fucking divided. Like,
It's not even this dude. It was people in the UK doing it.
yeah,
People in the UK were bashing the ring and the Grand Slam. So it's not just this country. It seems to be like just the community of professional wrestling fans, the IWC. It's just that divided.
I agree.
So let me share my thoughts, and I'm gonna make it short. And I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, Draven. But what about from like a business standpoint, like presentation wise? I didn't get to watch the show. It aired midnight for me, and I was asleep that night. I didn't get to watch it.
hmm
I heard the matches were great. They usually are. But when I saw pictures of it, I automatically just said, this looks kind of like mid. This looks to me like this is kind of a bad look, I thought. And for I thought a company like AEW, who is on national TV, who this is where the best wrestle, isn't presentation everything. Shouldn't like at one point they should be more responsible when it comes to these types of things? Because even before the show started, the way this thing was promoted seemed to be a complete mess also. So, I mean, at what point do the fans have to
Well,
demand for like a better presentation?
well, there was a couple of things as it relates to the show. One, this show was never supposed to be televised on anything. It was strictly just a show. It's never supposed to be televised, really. And then I guess WBD wanted it, and that's why they call it Grand Slam and all this shit. So it wasn't supposed to be televised. Two, when the ring doesn't get there, it's not just the ring. It's the ring skirts. It's the barricades with the LED lights. It's everything that you see. Um, I'm surprised they got the shipment with their stage screens.
Mhm.
Um, and unfortunately, at that point, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's not like anyone carries like a spare ring with them. And even if they did, it would be on the same shipment. If you touch down someplace with less than 24 hours to go, you can't buy a new ring during that time.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many pro wrestling shows are in Brisbane, but their pick, I mean, they did with. I mean, if it took Kyle Fletcher and like the native wrestlers to try to find a ring, and this is what they came up with, it's just what you have to deal with.
Mhm.
Um, and as far as, I mean, the people in the crowd and the people who watched, I mean, they got a great show. You sometimes in business you got to deal with what you can. I mean, the microscopic scale, but we were supposed to have an interview last night and last minute pulled out, and we had to just make do with whatever the fuck we could come up with at the top of our head. So
Mhm.
sometimes it's just shit can't be helped.
Yep.
No, yeah, you're right about that too. But also, we're talking about a major event that was being promoted months in advance. Like there, it's just hard for me to believe that they didn't have a plan B for this. Like they had so much time to plan this. Hey, let's reach out to some people out there in case this thing doesn't make it in time. I don't know. It just seems to me like an excuse. I know shit happens. I know, but like when you're at this level, you're making this much money and you're charging fans this much money for a ticket for your show. I don't think there's an excuse for this.
So
They weren't in
go ahead.
fucking Mississippi. It's not like if they have 3 rings in the company that they could just drive another one over. It I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's not like they didn't get great matches, so the ring wasn't normal. I mean,
And you're also with the pretext that there would happen to be a 20-foot by 20-foot ring within that area. I could tell you right now,
well, they run at 18, but still.
I could tell you right now, 8 out of 10 times I'm working a 16-foot ring in a show.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do I ever work at 18 or do I work at 20. Those from a price standpoint for an independent show, you're looking to spend about 3 or 4 more thousand for an 18 and then another maybe 4 or 5,000 for the 20.
Right.
So it's very common for 90% of independent shows to run 16-foot rings. I mean, that's just what it is. As far as the presentation goes, I kind of covered it already. To me, it felt more special because of the smaller ring. It made the guys think on their feet a lot more, especially the ones that are not used to working a 16. And like I said, Copeland's probably hasn't worked a 16-foot ring since 1995, but he looked fucking natural as fuck out there working it the other night.
Yeah.
Again, what they did is they made they did the best they could in a bad situation, and it worked out. Yes, unfortunately, there was one injury with the Buddy Matthews situation, but that's just happened a circumstance. That could have happened to anyone. I mean, again, when you're working with independent rings, it's best to let the guys that know that ring inside and out to do the fucking maintenance on it.
Right.
Even if that means going out there post every match and checking the ropes, checking the padding, checking the canvas, whatever the hell you got to do. But for me, and again, I'm not an AEW fan by any stretch of the imagination. The show seemed to be one of their best matches or best shows. The ring be damned.
I have a couple more questions for you guys about this. What like in your guys' experience or in your guys' opinion, is it any different wrestling in a ring 16 by 16 compared by 20 by 20? Like,
Oh
does it
yes,
make a difference?
yes.
In what
Yes.
way?
Footwork. Footwork is a big thing. So I guess I'll pull the veil back a little bit on this one. When you're working a 16 by 16, especially when you're running the ropes, you usually take 3 big steps and you do a pivot. When you're working an 18, you kind of got to judge how wide your stances are, but usually you still get 3. 20 by 20, you just run until you hit the fucking ropes. I mean, I've only worked a 20 by 20 4 times, and I could never get the footing right.
Yeah.
So I didn't do a lot of running into the ropes and shit. But yes, it does make a difference. Am I more comfortable in an 18-footer? Yes, because that's what I was trained in. Can I work a 16? Yes. I've worked a fucking 12-foot ring before.
Oof.
It's just what it is. You just make the best of whatever situation you're given. Now, granted, I got paid a pretty good penny for that 12 by 12 ring. But yes, it does make a difference. The psychology of the match also makes a difference. For example, say you're used to working an 18 by 18, and that's all you work, and you do a particular maneuver. Your feet are going to be closer to the ropes because you have less of a diameter to work in. So your ring presence has to be more on point. So Yeah, to me it
Interesting.
does.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I trained in 18 by 18 also, and to me, that's perfect. I,
Yes.
that's what WCW uses. It's what AEW uses.
What New Wave
I think that's
uses.
the perfect size ring. You hit the ropes on the right step. It's perfect.
It
16's
flows.
not terrible. I don't hate it. Um, it's just you have to watch your spacing a whole lot more because a backdrop can turn really bad if you're too close
Yep.
to the ropes.
If you
And the
take
thing
flight.
and the thing about a 16 by 16 is you have to make sure most of your high spots are dead center of that ring. Otherwise, like you said, a basic backdrop is going to turn into a fucking nightmare.
Hell yeah, I bet. Um, uh, Two more questions on this topic before we move on, if it's okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
If you're a top star in one of these shows, for example, if you're like a Kenny Omega or a Will Ospreay, and just that day you just find out, oh, we didn't get our regular size ring. We're actually wrestling a 16 by 16. At what point, like as a top star, do you say, well, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm not gonna go out there. Or do you just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna whatever, take one for the team?
You do what your booker and promoter pays you to do, regardless of the size of the ring.
Yeah, I mean it's
Short, sweet, to the point.
the size of the ring shouldn't be a big enough deal to piss a professional wrestler off.
Unless it's 12 by 12.
Right. At which
But
point I can't do
even
anything.
no. Well, I really couldn't do anything either. It was just one of those things of, well, we're going to take a lot of this shit outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you work with what you got.
And the final question about this: why do you guys think Tony Khan was getting booed?
Hmm. I can't really speak on that too much because I haven't really followed a lot of what Tony.
I don't know because he booked a show that blew the rafters off that building. So I don't know why people give him such a hard time. I mean, that
Well,
place.
has he gone on anything or said anything retarded here lately?
Well, the my prediction about that is goes back to the way that the show was promoted. It was multiple fans were reporting that they thought that they were going to get a pay-per-view in a stadium, and then it went down to a collision in an arena. Other people are saying that it was because of the ring, and other people are saying that they were just doing it just to be funny. So there's many different things that people are saying about Tony Khan getting booed, but I think it was because of the way that the show was promoted.
Okay, so
Maybe.
let me, Dark. I'm gonna ask you this because you watched the show. That card from top to bottom, did it have pay per view quality matches? At looking
I
at the
think
card,
there were no pay per view main events.
but would you say they were pay per view quality matches that would go on a pay per view?
A few of them, yeah.
So what's the fucking problem? I looked at the card, and God knows I've asked Sasha Banks or whatever the fuck she's called. But even the build up to her match was fucking good, and it made me kind of want to watch it.
I think people were expecting like something like what was the one that they did at Wembley All In?
Yeah,
With all the stars and a fucking 5-hour show with like 10 matches. I think that's what people were expecting.
but the thing about that is they had a year to prep up and build up to All In. Either one of those shows. This one had what? 2 months, maybe three.
Nah, they've been talking about it for a while.
That's why I
I want to
said two
say at
months, maybe
least
three.
6 months. At least.
But still,
I
you
don't
also
know
got to
about
factor.
that.
You've also got to factor in what Tony has on the books and what he needs to get over for the Revolution pay per view coming up. Because Revolution's in what, 4 weeks, something like that.
It's
Not
earlier
sure.
than that. It's like like March 3rd.
Or how long do you think, Dark, that they promoted the show? Because I
I
could be
definitely
wrong. I'm
think
not
it's
exactly sure.
been. I think I remember it. In my mind, it was around November. So it's
Okay.
been a good 4 months, but I don't
Okay.
remember it well before that at all.
Gotcha.
Okay. So let me ask you this. At any point in time, was it ever, whether it was through social media, on television, through sponsorship, was it ever promoted as a pay-per-view?
No, it was always called Grand Slam, and that's always just a dynamite.
No, it was promoted as like a major stadium event, which
But
I guess that's what people confused it with. Oh, this is going to be a pay-per-view then. Because I don't think not
so
even the WWE does non-pay-per-views in stadiums. I think they only do it for like, Mania, SummerSlams, and maybe
but they
Rumbles.
never came out and said it's going to be live on pay-per-view.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So this goes back to what my granny used to tell me when I was young. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
Mhm.
Well, I think that I think it's very possible that they started off hoping it was going to be a stadium show. But
Okay.
are you gonna if you don't sell enough
Enough
tickets, you're
tickets.
not gonna do it with a half-empty stadium.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if it was originally planned to be a stadium show,
Let me see. Let me see if I
probably
can
only
pull up.
filled, it obviously filled up the arena, but it might not have made that big of a dent in a stadium. I have no idea.
And Grandma Draven is right. If you assume you make an ass out of you and me, just like Tony assumed his ring would get there on time, but obviously that didn't happen.
Well,
But
I mean,
again,
if the shipping people say, yeah, this is how long it takes because this is what we do every single day of our lives, so we should know. And he goes, all right, sounds good. You're the experts, and then it doesn't show up. I mean, what the fuck?
yeah, again,
Shout out to Grandma Draven.
God rest her soul. I'm trying to see if I can pick up where your fucking head count was. Dark, do you remember the head count right offhand for Grand Slam?
No, I don't.
Either way,
I
I've
think it was like
seen.
14 or 15,000, if somewhere around there.
Okay, so they got a big venue. I mean, it's still an absolute fucking win considering the past 2 months they've only been doing 2,500 to 3,000 seat arenas.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fucking win for the company. People need to quit being fucking childish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was the elephant in the room when it came to Grand Slam.
All right.
Was those things.
Before we move on, let's have a quick commercial break, and we will be back.
Vodka, Evolve, Castell. Indulge in the Red Revolution.
Bad guys do hill shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just some rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool.
That was fun.
All right,
Yeah.
we are back.
All right, what we got next?
Let's talk about some weed, y'all.
Yo.
All right, I'm out.
We're gonna talk about some marijuana because
I haven't touched the White Widow Super Cheese in about fucking 13 years. So
the silver haze, the purple, I don't even remember the names anymore. But apparently weed in WWE is somewhat allowed in WWE according to Mia Yin or Mi Chin, whatever you prefer to call her. She did an interview with the Speak Easy podcast recently, revealing that the use of marijuana by talent is generally accepted now because weed is now mostly legal in most states in the United States.
mhm.
apparently the WWE took this off a couple of years ago, and Mia Yim was quoted in this interview saying, "When I get home on Saturdays, I'll do that and just chill out all day, and then I get back into the gym Sunday through Wednesday." So, what do you guys think about that?
I can finally sign with them. That was what was holding me back this whole time.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We're in discussions right now with a new contract.
That's right.
I don't have a problem with it. I've seen the medicinal purposes of marijuana be used to great extent. The last 5 years or so of my grandmother's life, before she sadly passed, the only thing that could get rid of her pain was smoking a blunt, hitting the fucking bong. I mean, if it's used correctly and not abused,
I love
awesome.
seeing old women hitting bowls.
Dude, I have to see if I got it. He's got a really nice. Later on that one. I'm okay with this because I've heard some stories at the beginning of the year. Randy Orton was a big one where he would just pre-sign a check with various amounts of money for every violation he got, because it's not one of those violations that you know 3 strikes and you're out. It's just, oh well, you're getting hit with a fine, and he'd have like $100,000 check. You're ready to fucking go.
Yeah, I heard about
Like,
that. Yeah.
yes, I mean it's not like weed is not as bad as previous generations made it out to be.
No.
No,
Mhm.
now if it's fucking abused, and like me when I was fucking 15, just smoking it to fucking smoke it because I was fucking
Cool. Trying to be
high.
cool.
No, I was high as fuck. Look, I never paid for my weed. Okay, and there's a reason I never paid for my fucking weed.
I don't think I want to know.
Granny Grimes. That's all I'm gonna say. Granny Grimes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes. So it was one of those things. It wasn't really for me to be cool. It was just for me to mellow out because I was very stressed as a teenager, as most of them are. But I wouldn't say I abused it, but I used it religiously.
Yeah.
Like I could probably at 15, I could probably hold my own against Willie Nelson.
Who's Willie Nelson?
Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, let's
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to buy the merch.
God damn it. All right. Willie Nelson is the most.
Willie Nelson outsmokes Snoop Dogg.
He's the smoker. All right. He was a country music artist, but he's like 1,000 years old now, and he outsmokes everybody.
Okay, but you guys didn't even know who the Migos were.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, remember we were talking about Quavo when he was on Raw, and you were like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
That's because I'm white as fuck.
I know who they are.
Oh,
he
it was
knew.
Dark knew. Yeah, Dark is the hip hop guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just white as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, going back to the weed
RIP
stories,
Offset.
Raven.
Going back to the weed thing. So yeah, I'm 100% for it. 100%. Now, granted, it varies state to state, but if you live in one of the states where it's fucking legal,
Is it
why
legal
even-
in Florida?
if you have a card, you got to get a medical card for
It's
it.
a medical here.
Yeah,
We don't
for
get
now.
just like walk-in weed like you guys. Just walk into a shop and be like, "Hey, give me some. Hey, officer, I'll take some of that weed."
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's fucking wild, and it sucks because I stopped smoking like maybe like 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and it's so easy, dude. Like you can just walk in and get whatever you want. So many different kinds. It's lovely, dude. Yeah.
Just walk in and be like, yeah, I want incredible munchies without the fucking paranoia. Oh,
Yeah,
this one?
dude.
Awesome.
It's fucking amazing, dude. So when you guys get your medical card, then you guys can go into the shop over there.
Yeah.
You can go
Okay.
into the shop regardless, but in order for you to purchase it, for you to even
Mhm.
touch anything in the shop, you got to have the card. Which in the
Got it.
state of Florida, it's kind of fucked up because you can either have your concealed carry permit or you can have your medical marijuana card. You can't have both in the state of
Not
Florida.
both. Wow, that's insane.
Which I don't feel like waiting the 3 days to get my new firearm, my new wireless hole puncher, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I'll keep my conceal.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably prefer that because you can get the weed anyway.
No, not Dark. He would take the card.
Yeah,
Hands
Uh,
down. 100%.
okay.
but I'm
He
a
smokes
knife
enough for
guy,
the both of
so
us.
I'm not a gun guy.
Yeah, well, I think it kind of goes with anything, like you said, Draven. Like if you're not abusing it, if you're being responsible with it, then there's no
Mhm.
problem. It's not like these wrestlers are showing up high to work and getting in the ring with people while
Jeff
smelling
Hardy.
like weed, right?
Matt Riddle.
Jeff Hardy.
Was he?
Oh yeah.
Dude, Jeff
Yeah.
Hardy was so. You don't remember?
Victory Road 2011.
Oh, yeah, but that was like 15 years ago. I mean, like recently. I mean, like nowadays, I don't think people are doing that anymore, are they?
Oh, Matt Riddle.
He smokes before matches.
Oh yeah. Look, if New Jack was still alive, he'd be smoking during matches.
Yeah.
Oh, New Jack would be doing way more.
Let's be real.
I mean, I would much rather them use weed than get addicted to painkillers, which is cliche for our business.
100%. Because as somebody that just recently got off painkillers, they can be quite addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I had surgery, motherfuckers. Don't try to make me out to be a fucking addict. I had surgery. Fuckers.
Motherfuckers.
They were
All
fucking
right.
good though.
What's
They were
next?
fucking good.
Yeah, they are.
I'll take a break.
Moving on.
Hmm?
Mrs. Undertaker Michelle McCool is being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year in 2025. Michelle McCool started off in 2004 as part of the WWE's Diva Search. She didn't win, but she still signed with the WWE, became Divas Champion in 2008, and then WWE Women's Champion 2 times, and was also part of the Lay Cool with Layla, and also married to the legend, The Undertaker. You guys think this is Hall of Fame worthy for Michelle McCool, or what do you guys think about that?
I think
I-
if she had come along in any other era, she wouldn't even be a blip on the radar. I think she came along that perfect Divas era where it didn't matter if you were a great wrestler or not. And I'm happy for her. And I'm gonna drop it right here because I am happy for her. I think she made a name for herself, whatever. But it makes me fucking sick to my stomach that we're talking about this and Victoria's not in the fucking Hall of Fame yet.
I'm right there with you. She and a lot of people's going to say she got in because of her husband, which I could partly agree with that. But for me, I'm right there with you. She came along and she stood out in an era of dog water divas, 100% dog water. For me, the thing she's known most for is stealing Christopher Daniels' finish and then going and stealing AJ Styles' finish. She's done nothing to me. She's done nothing Hall of Fame worthy. And like you said, we're now living in a world where Michelle McCool is going to go into a Hall of Fame, but Victoria, who's been on WWE programming countless times in the past few weeks, not even consideration.
And won matches too at WrestleManias, I think Victoria did.
Victoria was a legit badass.
No, yeah, she was. And she recently signed a Legends contract with the WWE, which leads me to believe that Victoria could still be inducted either this year or maybe next year. But
True.
we don't know.
True.
But I'm glad.
But generally for Hall of Fames, they only induct one female a year.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that I agree with what you guys are saying, because 2004, around that time, like I was a big fan of the women's division because I was a young horny teenager, and I don't remember Michelle McCool at all. Like
That's because she was a part of that Diva Search shit, and she went away and she worked Deep South Wrestling for a couple years before coming back in like 07, 08. And she had like that teacher gimmick at first, and then like she kind of went into like her own heel thing, and then she went to Late Cool, and then like she had one last run with, I think it was the Divas title, and then like just quietly fucking retired. Like she did nothing really of circumstance for her to be warranted to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, not disrespecting her in any way, shape, or form, because I know a couple of her in-laws, but sister, this was one of those things you should have just politely declined.
Yeah.
Please don't let
Like
my
out of
cousin see me
respect
say
type
that.
thing or something.
Yes, please don't let my cousin see me say that though.
Mm,
Don't feel like getting I don't feel like getting tombstoned.
yeah, but I
Oh,
don't
they'll
know
make a
about
nice
turning
clip.
it down because it's an honor, and you know,
Well,
whatever. But
I guess in the same breath, and I would argue this: why the fuck is Stacy Keibler in the fucking Hall of Fame? And don't say because of her legs.
right.
Because she
So
was a pioneer in the women's division and she really broke
the
the
only
mold
thing,
there.
the
I
only
don't know.
thing that pioneered off of her was her thong. That was it. I'm just being real.
Oh my god.
I mean,
I hope my wife doesn't
correct
hear this.
correct me. One of you guys can probably answer this. Um, y'all remember Jacqueline, correct?
Jacqueline,
Yeah.
yes.
Is she in the Hall of Fame?
I would
Yeah,
have
I
to
think she
check.
went in last year, didn't she?
I don't think so. No, because Rocky's grandmother went in last year.
Yeah, maybe she's not.
And if she's not, why not? Because she is a fucking pioneer in
Yeah.
the women's division. Hell, I'll go one step further. You want to go from that era that Michelle McCool came from? Fucking Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? Yeah, she had a really short stint there, but she revolutionized women's wrestling in and out of the WWE. I mean, if it went for her, would we have Piper Niven on TV?
Is Jacqueline's last name Moore? Jacqueline Moore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then yeah, she was inducted 2016.
Oh, good. Well deserved.
I don't think any other female should be inducted, period, until Victoria is.
I 100% agree with that. 100%. Only because my future ex-wife Lita's already in there. Just saying.
All
Just
right.
saying. So yeah.
All right.
Well, let's
right.
go to our last commercial break, and we will come back and have the last few stories. Let me introduce you to our new sponsor, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Check this out. They sent us this huge box of samples with all these amazing flavors, from traditional flavors like the OG and ranch to unique flavors like cinnamon churro and my favorite, backyard barbecue.
Absolutely, man. Let's not forget the garlic parmesan, cracked black pepper, and my personal favorite, the maple brown sugar. It is grade A, phenomenal, my guy.
So me, Draven, and Miner all sat down, went through all these flavors. Of course, we each had our favorite, but one thing we agreed on, this is an amazing brand. If you're a sunflower seed eater, definitely need to check this out. If you're not a sunflower seed eater, you still need to check these out because they got a flavor that you like, without question. Miner's favorite was dill pickle. I like the barbecue. Use the link in the description and enjoy.
How long have we
We
been
are
getting
back.
paid by?
Dude,
Go.
I just had an existential crisis over here.
Oh,
So I have the show on my big monitor behind my laptop. You know, just in case this goes out and I can still see everything. And as soon as the sunflower seed commercial stops, a fucking ad for Domino's comes up. And I'm having like this conniption, like, we signed with fucking Domino's and didn't tell me? What the fuck? We could get better fucking pizza? We could get Marco's? We could get 5-star? We had to settle for Domino's? I mean, it's better than Pizza Hut, but we had to settle for Domino's?
yeah, not quite.
Not yet.
But they're welcome to run ads on our show anytime they want to.
Fair. Also, keep Nick Gage off the TV. He likes using pizza.
All right, what we got next?
Let's talk about the Elimination Chamber really quick, y'all. Let's get this out of the way. We have all 6 spots for the men's and the women's Elimination Chamber have been filled. For the men's side, let's start off with the men's first. We got Punk, we got the goated Logan Paul, we got Seth Rollins, Cena, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. Thoughts on the men's competitors for the chamber match?
So the winner of this one's going to face Cody at Mania, correct?
Right.
I gotta make my picks for my bookies. No, I don't think Punk, because they're gonna really push the Punk Seth Rollins thing at Mania.
I'm going Cena.
I mean, that's the obvious choice. But for me, I don't want him winning. I don't want him getting into a title match yet, because then at that point, he's lost yet another match. Like, do we just
give me the
do we just
names
keep
again?
him?
Punk, Logan, Seth, Cena, Priest, and Drew.
Well, Priest and Drew.
They're going into Mania.
Right.
They haven't really got Logan Paul tapped down yet, so he's odd man out.
I feel like when it comes to Elimination Chambers, we see a pattern. Like someone who we expect to win ends up getting screwed by someone else, and then they end up feuding for WrestleMania. So what if someone screws Cena out of winning this one?
The only person I can see screwing him out of is fucking Logan Paul. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know, because the setups right now with Punk and Seth, I want to see, because at some point Roman's going to get fucking thrown into that, because I doubt we're going to get Rock and Roman at this point. Damian and McIntyre, same thing. I don't want to say fucking Logan Paul, because that's just another waste of a Cody Rhodes title match. We saw that last year. Maybe they do put Cena in the main event, and just have him do that continuous losing streak until he finally wins that last championship at the end of the year.
yeah, I don't know. This one's hard to call, because there's also some rumors about them going away from Drew and Damian. Like, what have you guys heard about that?
I've heard zero about that.
Because of the fans being unhappy, they're thinking about changing that.
Look, it happened one time with fucking Cody last year. They don't need to make a habit of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I still got to go Cena, because I think the other ones are pairing off, and I can't see Logan Paul main eventing fucking WrestleMania for the title.
No. I'm gonna have to say Cena as well, just because. But again, that's going to go into the continuous losing streak until he finally wins that 17th at the end of the year.
I'm gonna go Punk. I want to see Punk main event WrestleMania finally, and see some more good promo segments like we did a couple weeks ago with him and Cody. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That kind of would make sense too. That would get Seth and Roman that one-on-one match at Mania they'd never had.
That would be fucking cool.
And it wouldn't be for a title, so it wouldn't be a guaranteed Roman win.
Right.
I could see that too, but just from how everything's laid out right now, currently, Cena. At least get him one win in this year before going for the title.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about the women's or anything else you guys want to add for the men's?
I'm pretty good on the men's.
Is that this? Is it this weekend?
No, it's the weekend. It's the weekend of my anniversary. Next weekend.
Okay.
And I know how much you make, motherfucker, so I know what to expect on that anniversary gift.
Yeah.
Shit, we ain't married. I ain't getting you shit for your anniversary.
Well, you know what? Fuck you. I had something special for this anniversary for HSP, but fuck you, bitch. Ah,
Is it a Logan Paul shirt?
it's a fuck Logan Paul shirt
Ah, even better.
in the Hulkamania yellow.
Oh shit.
All right. Let's just give our thought on the women's real quick.
Who's
All right.
in the women's?
Roxanne, Bailey, Naomi, Bianca, Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss.
They
And they're
have
going,
been,
and they're going for Rhea's title. Just
Right.
clarifying that.
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
They have really been pushing Roxana Perez, and I kind of hope that continues. Like I'm gonna say her.
Well, the issue with that is they're really pushing her and Bailey. So I don't know if that's going to set off into either the takeover or the WrestleMania show. Excuse me. I'm going to say Alexa.
Me
Yeah.
too. I was thinking the same thing because we already saw Rhea versus Liv, I feel like, a million times.
We've
And I-
seen Rhea versus Alexa too, but they have great chemistry too.
Yeah. And I also feel like Naomi and Bianca, they're gonna end up turning on each other at this chamber.
I'm calling it now. Jade's going to show up at the chamber match, and that's when all that's going to come out. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this, guys: who do you think attacked her? KJ?
Naomi.
I say Bianca.
I said Naomi from the beginning because she's gained the most. She became world tag team champion by doing that. You know, she wound up gaining the most. Now I think this Liv and Raquel thing are just a red herring.
I agree with that, but Edgar, I think you saw the same thing I saw on Friday Night SmackDown when they showed the video and the body language of Bianca, just that look of relief.
I didn't see SmackDown. I
Okay,
didn't watch
so
it.
go back and watch the Nick. Well, they actually showed it on Raw, where Nick showed the video. Go back and watch her body language. Watch her facials. More importantly, it was like a sigh of relief, like, oh, fucking, he's
I see
completely
what
off
you're
of me.
saying though, because this Monday night, the way that she was talking was very heelish, I thought, and also with the gold in her teeth and the way that she was like making her moves, and it's very heelish. So I
Well,
want to see more of
Well,
that from Bianca.
I never saw any of that because I skipped that part of my life. But just from just that backstage segment and her body language and how she responded to it, I'm saying it's Bianca
I hope it's
because
Bianca.
and this is my thought process on it. Now we'll get back to the chamber in a second. The thought process of it is before Jade showed up, Bianca was the bitch, so to speak. Like she was the big bad bitch. She was the big strong one. And when Jade showed up, kind of made her feel inferior, kind of made her feel like her spot was going to get taken. So instead of fucking going at it head on, let's make her my best friend until the time is fucking right to take her out.
And I feel like they kind of been planting those seeds already with those reports saying that, oh, they don't really get along behind closed doors, which could be bullshit, but still interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Triple H able to play the fucking dirt sheets very fucking well. Case in point, Alexa. For all we know, he's fucking doing it with that too.
Well, to be fair on that, I found out that they didn't come to a deal until real close before that show. So the reporting was correct at the time. They just scrambled and signed a deal late in the game.
Yes, but even like hours leading up into the pay-per-view, Uncle Dave was still saying there was absolutely no chance. And then when it was reported, Uncle Dave had to go back and fucking
I don't
basically
give a fuck what Uncle Dave
I'm
says.
just saying because a lot of people take his fucking word as fucking gospel when it comes to the fucking dirt sheets. And for him to have to fucking backpedal and trying to cover up what he said a mere 2 hours before the pay-per-view started, that shows that he doesn't really have a hold on the dirt sheets like he thinks he does.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I mean, I tend to believe stuff Sean Ross Sapp does, but other than that, I look at everything really skeptically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then you're probably not going to believe what I got for you guys for this final topic here.
All right.
Talk to me.
According to the dirt sheets and Uncle Dave, good old Josh Alexander has made his choice as to his future in wrestling. He was getting multiple offers from WWE and AEW, and it's now being reported that Josh Alexander went with the highest bidder, which is AEW. This was based on his family. He wants to be financially. It was a money decision, basically based on his age. He's not a very young guy. He's in his late 30s. So AEW offered more, makes more sense for Josh Alexander to go there. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
You first, Dark.
I think it'll be a good place for him. And I was kind of expecting his next big step. He might have went around and did the indies for a while, but his next big move would have been to AEW, especially because they are trying to make it look like that they're concerned with actual wrestlers. So he's an amazing wrestler. He can legitimately go with anybody. I think it makes perfect sense for him to go there.
For me, I'm going to reserve judgment until I see a report that pen has been put to paper. I will take everything with a grain of salt until that happens. I think he'll fit in well with any company. It's really just going to be what's best for his family, like you said. And if it's money wise, yeah, he's going to go with Tony more than likely, because otherwise he's going to get sent to NXT with Ricky Starks or whatever the fuck he's been named in the past 5 minutes. If it's WWE, more than likely it's one of those scheduling things. So for me, I'm not going to say one way or another on it until I see what contract he's legitimately signed.
Yeah, because I try to look this up, and every single source and wrestling media website or whatever that I can find, everyone is just repeating what Dave Meltzer is saying about this. So nothing is really set in stone just yet.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing you got to say about Dave is that if he has inside information on a company, it's AEW. So I think you can kind of trust what he says about AEW more than you can trust him when it comes to WWE talent.
That's fair. Yeah.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been skepticism that he has like a percentage owned in the company. If that's the case, then yeah, obviously he's going to go for that more. But really, if you think about it, he's had the same passion for that style of wrestling since he was covering New Japan back in 2014.
Oh,
So
sure.
I don't necessarily think he has like a percentage owned into it. I think he just has a lot invested into that company, wanting to see it succeed, where he's metaphorically sucking Tony's balls.
Well, yeah. I mean, why do we call him Uncle Dave? Because the Young Bucks started calling him Uncle Dave. Like it's
Actually, I started calling him Uncle Dave when Corny started calling him Uncle Dave,
oh, well,
and he was doing that long before the Young Fucks.
well, maybe so, but I don't know. I just think that he has more of an inside track on what's going on over there.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, I hope he does. Josh Alexander does go to AEW, because I mean, I've seen clips of him, but I've never seen full on matches because I can't watch TNA, but I can watch AEW. So that would be cool, something to look forward to on Wednesdays.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, he's got great power,
Oh,
great technique.
shit.
What?
Breaking news. Moose has challenged Obafemi to the NXT title.
Damn.
Wow.
That'll be a good
Wow.
match.
That is going to be big, meaty men slapping meat.
Yes.
But let me just say, I do not love his fucking X Division title. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
You hate what?
Moose redesigned the X Division title for like a gimmick style belt, and I just don't like it.
Oh, okay.
But dude, they just made Moose look like a fucking star on NXT.
Nice.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'll send it to the Instagram group chat, and y'all can watch it at your leisure.
Have you been watching this whole time?
No, I've been just trying to go through, trying to find if Ricky Stark's done his shit yet. They haven't updated yet.
I'm just wondering if Jordan has made an appearance yet.
They did a backstage segment with her, but I haven't really found anything else.
I got you.
So Jordan Grace is going to be on NXT.
Yes,
For a minute.
Okay.
a good couple minutes, at least through WrestleMania season. I would say at least till the takeover.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
That was it, y'all.
All right, great. You want to do some pleasantries, Draven?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we actually have an announcement to make. Starting next week, our recording schedule is going to change just a little bit to accommodate some stuff for me and Dark. So the way it's going to go is Sunday morning, 11 a.m. We're going to be doing Heel Shit Podcast live. We're not going to be recording Mondays anymore. We'll be doing Tuesday Weekend Wrestling as we always do with our boy Edgar. Excuse me. And Talking Shit is going to get moved back to Thursday nights at 8. So it'll be Sunday morning, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights for the foreseeable future. Go ahead and get that out there and acknowledge for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to follow us on all the socials, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Trovo, Kick, YouTube, obviously. Speaking of the socials, Edgar, go ahead and plug your shit for me, my guy.
Yes, follow me, please. I work hard, and every little follow is wonderful, and every like is wonderful. At Snug Wrestling, Instagram, and YouTube, and TikTok, and Facebook. And I've been putting out a shit ton of shows, so go listen to all of them and leave a star rating and leave a review.
Yes, the fuck you have. If anybody works as hard as Conrad Thompson in the podcast game, it is Edgar from Snug. I fucking promise you that. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, don't forget the merch.
The merch!
It is fucking beautiful. I don't know why. Just the way you do the merch it makes my heart grow at least half a size. Let's not forget we can get all the Heel Shit Podcast merchandise over on the Streamlabs, as well as Forbidden Kingdom, as well as Draven Grimes, as well as Dark Cordz, and now officially Rip Ruiz is now on the Streamlabs site, as well as the Fuck Logan Paul shirt, the Paul Watcher shirt, cups, shorts, hoodies, t-shirts, everything else. And let's not forget, because you haven't plugged it yet, the YouTube premium memberships start as low as 99 cents. Every tier has its own set of perks. I highly advise you to take advantage of that, because one day we're probably going to go up on the price. And if we do, we're sorry. But for right now, 99 cents, $1.99, $4.99. Help support the Hill Faction. Become a member of the Hill Shit Podcast. And with that, I think, let me make sure. Yeah, we're done.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did. Once again, thank Edgar from the Snug Wrestling Podcast for joining us for Weekend Wrestling. For Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Cordz. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. Peace.
Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody and no